Hey, what's going on? Welcome back to the channel. In this video, we're going to be taking a look at Cosmos Atom. I do want to say that I'm not a financial advisor. You should do your own research before investing money into crypto. If you haven't seen the previous update, make sure to watch that before watching this one. It's going to be linked in the top right-hand corner of the screen. And before we jump into the video, I quickly want to mention the donation link down below in the description. There are people that are suffering some horrible war crimes right now as we speak. You probably know what I'm talking about. I'm not going to try to say any names or anything like that because YouTube and Instagram are being very sensitive about this and they're banning everything. So kids are suffering, and as human beings we have to help them out. So if we have enough spare money to dabble in crypto, we definitely have some money to share around and try to send to some kids who are in need. So feel free to do that. That's the best donation website that I know of. If you know any other ones, feel free to donate through them. But this is the one that I would use and the one that I'm using. So yeah, feel free to do that. And let's jump into the TA. Taking a look at the daily chart, so Cosmos Atom has already dropped below this large wick that we printed back in June 2023. And I was expecting this to get filled at some point. But you can see we even dropped lower than that. So what we can do now is we can set up two fib retracements. The first one is going to be from that high there, from that high in July 2023 down to the low in June. And you can see we are already down at the 2.414 fib. So the 1.618 has long been met and then some. But if we take another fib here from this local high in October at the start of the month, down to the local low in September, and you can see we have a different picture here. We started losing the September low, which is not very good, I'll be honest with you. So there is a potential for us to come back down to $5.73. Now if we zoom out, you can see that this level at $5.73 is essentially our bear market low. So are we going to come back down and retest our June 2022 bottom, which I personally didn't think was going to happen because Cosmos was being as bullish as Injective, and I don't think Injective is going to be doing that. But as you can see, Cosmos has slowly but surely made its way back down, and we're potentially going to be retesting this June low. So what I would do, especially if you don't have any Cosmos coins yet, is I would probably start buying in right now, and I would set up some buy limit orders, and we can use these extension levels as our targets. So you have the 1.272 sitting at $6.09. We have the 1.414 sitting at $5.94, and we have the 1.618, the technical target, at $5.73. But even at the current price, Cosmos is sitting at an incredible buying price. This is very cheap in my opinion. I do have a very good position. This is one of my top 3 holdings, and I'm going to be buying more sometime soon. But for now, I have enough. I am staking on the Kepler wallet. So what I would say is look into Cosmos if you haven't already, because you're going to miss out on these good prices. A lot of people were very sad that they did not buy into Cosmos at these $6 marks here when we were sitting at 16, right? Because we had that massive pump in September 2022. So let's see how things play out. I definitely don't want to be dropping below the June 2022 low. That would be a major bearish sign, and in that case we could potentially be coming back down to the September 2020 lows, which would be great prices, don't get me wrong, but I do want to keep this chart healthy, because if we go to the weekly over here, you can see that we are still looking very healthy on Cosmos. As long as we stay within the realms of this lower green support block, we are very healthy. Why? Because we are not printing a lower low in the grand scheme of things. So we have this massive low here. The next low is going to be somewhere here, and the next high hopefully is going to be higher than the one that we printed here, somewhere over here. So that's the idea of an uptrend. But if we start losing this green support block, as you can see that we've been holding as support, and that was our resistance initially back in 2020, we have the chance of coming back down and retesting some of these levels here and we could drop down to some of these prices here, and that's not going to be the end of the world, but it's not going to be a very good thing either, because that would push the price so deep. And I don't think the bulls will let that happen, to be honest with you. I don't think we're going to be seeing a Cosmos coin sitting at a price of $4, unless there is a massive black swan event and we have, these large wicks, kind of like what we saw in July 2021, in March 2020, in June 2022, and so on and so forth. In that case, yes, we might have a large wick with an instant V-shaped recovery. But even if that does happen, no one's telling you to buy all in right now. You can buy some here, you can buy more here, you can buy more here, you can buy more here. If you're bullish on the project, the price really does not matter when you're in this bearish zone right now. And one other thing to keep in mind is the fact that we are very overextended from the 20 EMA. So the last time we had a touch was back in April 2023. So we could be looking at some sort of a relief rally, because we have lost the upper green block, we lost the 20 EMA, and we haven't really had the back test of resistance here. So coming back up to $8.40 would be a nice swing trade opportunity, or just a nice exit for anyone who's buying in for the short to midterm. And as you can see, we lost this symmetrical triangle here, and we got squeezed back down. If we take a trend line to measure the breakout target or breakdown target, you can see that it's going to put us at roughly $2.64. So from where we are right now, that is a 57% correction. I don't think we're going to be dropping that much unless something extremely massive happens in the in the world that dumps essentially all of the financial markets. Now, one other thing that I want you to keep an eye on is this fib that we're going to remove, because we've already lost this June 2022 low on the weekly chart. So on the weekly, we're already below this with an open candle. So that's not going to be very good. Now, if we actually manage to close the candle above, $6.70, that would be a perfect double bottom pattern. But as of right now, it looks like we could be even retesting $5.50, which is the bottom of this support block, and that wouldn't be the end of the world. So I'll probably be buying more coins at that point. And as you can see, we're just back testing this resistance that we created back in September, August, and October, and November, and December of 2020. So we broke out, had the first back test of support, and now we're having the second one. So like I said, we're still looking pretty bullish. Jumping into the weekly RSI, let's see what's going on here. So we could be looking at another retest of this trend line here, the weekly ascending support trend line that we saw retested in June last year, in September this year, and we might be looking at another bounce sometime in the next few months with a potential leg up afterwards. But regardless of whatever happens in the near future, we are looking at a fruitful 2024 and 2025. So we have to stay patient, we have to accumulate, and we just have to understand that this is the long game. We're not here to make gains, in 2 days. That's not how you make generational wealth. So the stochastic is also sitting in the oversold on the weekly. That's a great buying opportunity as well. If we go back to November, December 2022, that was a good buying spot. Then we had this area over here from April 2023 up until June was a great buying spot. And once again, we bottomed out here in August 2023, another great buying spot. The MACD is actually having an EMA squeeze, which is when the moving average bounces off the signal line, which is the red line. We were hoping for a bullish cross, because once you get a bullish cross, that's a pretty good sign that you're going to be looking at an uptrend, especially on the weekly chart. That's when these signals are very important. But for now, that doesn't seem to be the case. Like I said, a backtest of the 20 EMA could be on the horizon, just a quick backtest, and then the continuation of the downtrend. But once we are able to break above the 20 EMA and the 55 EMA, kind of how we did it back here in July, kind of how we did it back here in January 2023 when we got above it, and we didn't manage to continue, obviously, but if we take a look at Injective's chart, you can clearly see that the 20 EMA is a massive support level there. And, you know, hopefully we can do the same on Cosmos's chart. But once we get the weekly bullish cross like we did back in August 2020, we should be looking at some nice gains down the line. And that's pretty much it. I want to thank you all for watching this video, guys. Let me know what are your long-term targets for Cosmos. Let me know what prices are you looking to buy at. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Thank you for watching. Stay safe and goodbye.